Hi everyone, it's Katie Wilkes with the American Red Cross. Today we are live to you from Houston, Texas in one of our distribution warehouses. So I'm in a massive spot here just north of the city of Houston, and behind me you can see all of our relief efforts. We've got 75 volunteers on the ground here today helping to pack up supplies for cleanup, for hygiene, into the back of trucks to make sure that this is going out into the community, the hardest hit areas included, to make sure that people are getting the relief supplies they need at this time. And I've got Jay behind the camera. He's awesome, and so we're going to do a little thing where he lets me know, and we're going to flip, and we're going to talk to you from both sides. So I've got a forklift behind me. We take safety seriously, so I want to make sure I don't get run over here. But I'm going to do a little tour with you. So we've got on the left side here, you can see our buckets. These are cleanup kits. So inside you'll find things like shovels. We've got brooms that are able to be broken down and fit inside of these buckets. We've got sponges, masks, because it's really important that when these families who are cleaning out their houses keep safe, cover up their mouths and make sure that a lot of the debris doesn't get inside them, because that can be really harmful. Right now we've got a massive forklift going by with a lot of these supplies that are actually in these comfort kits and cleanup kits as well. So again, everybody on site here is a volunteer. Jay, if you want to pan around here, we've got some brakes and brooms here on the forklift, and we've got a lot of people who are so excited to be here, because when you think about it, today is Tuesday, and a lot of people could be at work today. A lot of people could be doing things with their families, but instead they're choosing to give back to the Red Cross alongside with so many of our partners. So seems to have a little bit of a traffic jam here, reality of a disaster. But you can see that behind us, as we kind of go through this warehouse, you'll see a lot of our volunteers. We've got AmeriCorps here, and they are helping to pack up these supplies. So let's walk a little bit behind me and I'll show you what's going on. Actually over here is a pretty cool thing too. So not only do we have cleanup supplies, but we've got a few snacks, we've got beverages, we've got food, tons of water here on site, because when you can imagine, you're cleaning up your house, this is really hard work. I've been here for a week. I'm from Chicago, and it's been, I think, 80s, high 80s, low 90s. So this is really tiring work that people are doing in the middle of the day in the hot sun. So we want to make sure that they keep hydrated. All right, so come on over here with me, and you can start to see our crews of volunteers doing these massive load up operations. So we've got all of these trucks here that are coming. This specific warehouse has 50 trucks that they're going out into the communities. Now, these types of warehouses are throughout Texas, so this is one of several that are responsible for getting these supplies onto the backs, going into the communities in the hardest hit areas. So here in Houston is just one of several across all of Texas. So let's go over here. Let's see if I can find someone to talk to. We've got a lot of volunteers, water. We've got, back here we've got some, this is a good shot for you, Jay, some rakes. We've got these packed up, ready to go. A lot of these are where your donor dollars go. So when you say, gosh, where does my donation go to when I donate to the American Red Cross? This is one of several areas. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of money to get these volunteers here. We were talking to a few today before we are talking to you here, and they're from across the country. Talked to a volunteer in her, response history. She's been to Katrina. We've got people who are here at Sandy. So these are really well-trained people. We want to make sure that they're well-trained so that they understand how to do their job safely and efficiently. So at this point, let's see if we can do this smoothly, Jay.
Oh, reflip it, because here I am, and then you'll need, so now we're flipped. And this is the flip we did because I did a little silly test when you introduced me first. So I was already on once making a silly face. Now I'll be serious. So I think, as we go around here, you can see the volunteers are starting to load up. This particular truck, Katie showed you the cleanup kits that were over here before. Now we've got them getting into this emergency response vehicle ready to go in. We're going to flip the camera and have Katie turn it so you can see what she's shooting. Hold on. There you go. That'll probably work better.
This is teamwork at its best.
That's right. Live TV. If you ever worked in it as I used to, this is what happens. But you can see the volunteers. Again, Katie mentioned partners. They said that yesterday here we had about, I believe it was 50 or 75 National Guardsmen, and actually had military vehicles that they were loading these supplies in and taking them out. Today, it's our Red Cross volunteers. We have some AmeriCorps here. There's a couple people over here that I know Katie and I talked to before. Let's go take a walk and see if they have a second. I know they're they're busy, but let's see if we can't get a second here with one of these guys. They can really explain what we're doing. And actually, while they're having a meeting right now, we'll come back. One of the other things that they've been doing today is loading up these bins. And bins are things that people can use anyways. And so why not put some of the supplies in the bin instead of just sending them an empty bin? Makes sense, right? So over here, they had volunteers earlier. They've now moved over to starting to load up these vans. They had volunteers here earlier loading up these kits. So Katie, we'll take a look at some of the things, and this is just some of the things that you're going to get here. So we have some garbage bags, gloves. If your home has been flooded, you could have a lot of mold and other things that you don't want to touch. So this is all really important stuff here. We have a lot of water. Katie mentioned how hot it is here. A flashlight. You may not have power in your home. A tarp. I didn't even know we had a tarp in here until I just opened this one. Think about if you had damage to your roof, you could prevent other damage. Bug spray underneath here. A mask, again, dealing with mold. So a lot of really useful things that people who are just getting back into their homes after Harvey are really going to need as they start to clean up. So let's come back over here. Let's see, they got the one van loaded. They're waiting to get another one. So let's see, this might be a good time to either grab David or Kathy over here if we can. David is here, and Kathy's one of the supervisors here. So here comes David. We're going to see if we can't get David for a second, and I'm going to take this off so I can actually do that, and you could be heard. So David,
Absolutely.
Tell us your name, where you're from.
Dave Zarnik from Pennsylvania. I'm a volunteer out of Central Region.
Well, thank you for coming down and helping out. So you were telling us a little bit kind of about the procedures here earlier and how this works. So if you don't mind running through a little bit of that. We've done kind of a tour from over where the forklifts were over to the trucks being loaded to here.
Correct. So currently we're sitting in the mission area where we receive a mission from our district office. So they will receive a mission for the volunteers here to load a truck. Anything could be loaded in this truck, such as the blue totes behind us here, or some comfort kits, some cleaning kits in case people out in the field need some cleaning kits, and then also food, water. We also have some MREs and some snacks as well for the citizens out in the community.
And David, you said this one here serves the greater Houston area. We're in Houston, Texas. Correct. However, there are warehouses like this all across Texas in the areas that were affected. We call them districts, but basically areas for anyone that's not a Red Cross person. So just different areas like here, say Beaumont or Corpus Christi, yes. They have warehouses there like this also.
So the Red Cross broke down the state of Texas into multiple districts. That way it's easier to manage. Then there's a warehouse or a supply district in each one of these district areas. Again, all the districts are the ones on the ground. They understand what's going on in the community, and then they can assess what the needs are and then get the supplies to them as quickly as possible.
All right, David, I'll let you get back to work. Thank you,
thank
sir.
You. We appreciate it.
Oh, we appreciate what you guys are doing. Hi, you've been hanging out, so I assume you want to get on here. Hi, my name's Jay.
Nice to meet you, MC.
See?
I was kind of just going to give him a...
Oh, that's okay, but now you're here. So you're here as an AmeriCorps. So explain a little bit, really quickly, what that is, first of all.
Well, AmeriCorps is NCCC, or National Community Career Conservation Service. AmeriCorps is mainly we'll just normally go around to nonprofit organizations and help out. American Red Cross being one of them. We have certain different things we'll do, such as help build houses for Habitat for Humanity, or disaster relief, head to Red Cross where there's been bad disasters, help out.
So how long have you been here today?
Today, since about 7:38.
Okay, and this is some physical work that you're doing here at that time, right?
Oh yes. We will, if you can see behind you, we will actually pull in totes of stuff and cut open the plastic, then put about 6 or 7 bottles of water in a bin, then some gloves, some bug spray, some masks, some trash bags, some flashlights, whole 9 yards.
Yeah, we took a look inside. So I just want to thank you for being here and for helping us out. And while I have the microphone off, I think it's a good time to switch it back over. I'm good. Thank you. So we're going to flip this back over to Katie.
Hey, thanks for hanging in there with us as we figure out the best way to do this Facebook Live. Jay and I are figuring out everything minute by minute. So, Jay, no, we heard quick from AmeriCorps, and one thing I want to point out is that AmeriCorps has been a longtime partner of the American Red Cross. They are such a huge part of how we can get our mission done. So when we say volunteers, yes, they include volunteers from AmeriCorps. They include volunteers, including staff here who have chosen to give up their time to deploy to areas like Texas. Right now we're still preparing for Irma. And so the Red Cross, you know, this is what we do. We make sure that we are prepared ahead of time. We've been seeing storms like this coming for a while. So specifically with Hurricane Harvey, we made sure that we had troops here on the ground. We had people scouting out shelter locations. We had people making sure that we had safe places to go, expecting the worst. And so we have been prepared for this for a while. So let's go over here. Let's take a walk over to some of our more amazing volunteers. And let's see, would you like to, we're doing a quick Facebook Live for the American Red Cross. Do you want to tell us why you're here and where you're from?
Oh, sure. So we're from AmeriCorps CCC. It's a federal national service program for 18 to 24-year-olds. And we were on 7 months through our terms of service, and we were called down here to help with the disaster response to Hurricane Harvey. And yeah, so we've been here for about almost 2 weeks now.
Thank you so much for your help. And what does it feel like when you can put on this vest and feel like, you know, you're in a huge operation? You know, you're one of so many people here. We've got over 3,000 volunteers in Texas alone. What does it feel like to be able to do with us for a couple hours today on your Tuesday?
It feels nice, especially when you go out on the trucks and see people who actually receive all this help. It's just a nice feeling.
And thank you. And another thing I wanted to mention is that because of people like you here, thank you so much for your time, we are able to really be the eyes and ears on the ground. So both volunteers here loading the supplies, but also volunteers driving these massive trucks. So we've got, I think, one about to come in behind me. These are massive trucks that we fill to the brim with our supplies so that when we go out into these communities, we go and we find as many people as possible. Today we were talking with the driver and learned that, you know, essentially when we send our people out into these communities, they let us know if somewhere isn't found on a map. They come back, they report that to us so that we can make sure we're hitting pockets of areas, even if it might not have been reported to us, that we have people in all areas of Texas letting us know what communities need help. So if you are one of those people, if you are watching this right now and you need help or you know somebody that needs help, please let us know, because we're here to do the best possible job that we can. We've been doing so many disasters lately. We've got another one coming, Irma, but the American Red Cross responds to 64,000 disasters every single year. So we know that we always have room for improvement. We know that we can do our job because of our generous volunteers here today, our corporate partners, our partners that have supplied alongside everything you see here, so many of the supplies that are going out into the community. So I want to make sure I'm not going to get run over. I think we're okay here, but this is one of those massive trucks coming in behind me. And so you're seeing this live, guys. This is not something that we've taped and that we're replaying, but this is an operation that's been going on for hours. And so, you know, we plan to make this keep going because we can only do the work we do if we have the people to do it with us. So you can see one of our amazing drivers here. She's given up her time. And today is Wednesday. I think I said it was Tuesday before, but today is Wednesday. Sometimes you lose track of time when you're doing this stuff for a long while. So I also want to show you this area over here. This is a part of our logistics plan. And these are the people who make sure that where these supplies are going are actually reaching those areas. So we've got people who are making sure that they're tracking these drivers. This is a kind of a makeshift office location right here. So do you mind if we talk with you for a little bit about what your name is and where you're from and why you're here?
My name is Rachel Connor, and I'm from Bristol, Tennessee, and I'm here to drive and deliver supplies to people that's needing.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming out. And so when you drive these trucks, you know, what does it feel like to be in that driver's seat and really have control of so many life-saving supplies?
It's a wonderful feeling. It's why we do it. I mean, that's our mission. It is to reach out.
And when you were driving that truck, what areas were you in the last time?
We were in several different neighborhoods at different times. So I mean, we roll through there and distribute what's needed at that time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being here, and we couldn't do this without you, so you're a really special part of the team. Thank you. And so behind us we've got, as you can see, this is 24/7 work. We do not stop. It might look like, you know, yes, we have to go and we have to take breaks, but the reason that we take breaks is that we can take care of our volunteers. and we can take care of the people that make this mission happen in the first place. So let's walk over here a little bit. Walking by some trash bags. As people start to muck out their homes, they're going to have a place where they can put, some of that debris and that material, including their possessions that they can salvage. So trash bags help us do that job. We also have over here, I know, Jay, you just showed us what's inside one of these kits, but kind of a cool story that we have is that, we realized when we send out these supplies and people see these trucks with the Red Cross on them, it's so hard for them to carry so many things at once. So we said, gosh, this is a great opportunity for us to learn and put these into a single box so that it's a one-stop, grab and go. People can get it faster and easier, and it's a lot more efficient way for us to get these life-saving supplies out into the community. So I think, what we have here is a pretty cool operation. I just saw something over here that I know a lot of you will probably like. And you may have seen this on social media or in other places, but Anheuser-Busch has generously donated these amazing cans of water. And you can kind of see through the plastic here, but these, they do look like beer cans. I can assure you they're not beer. They are potable, drinkable water. And so what happens in a flood is that, a lot of the times the water isn't safe to drink. So we want to make sure that people stay hydrated. We've got bottled water over here, and so you can have your choice, cans or bottles. Choices are always nice. And so when you're doing this back-breaking work in the middle of the Texas sun, 93 degrees, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and your family. And so we have these pallets of water that we continue to get in from generous donors of ourselves. So I'm going to hand it over to Jay.
I could sense her losing her voice a little bit there. Nothing on the other side. You flip the phone. I think that we've really kind of shown this is a massive operation, and it's been going all day. We're here at the warehouse in Houston, Texas, one of several that we have across the state of Texas right now. Katie mentioned that, I believe you mentioned that 50 trucks a day are going out here, and the number of things that are on the standard truck are amazing. But right now, one of the other things they do is we walk over and see what they're loading onto this truck. One of the other things they do here out of this warehouse, untangle the microphone a little. One of the other things they do out of this warehouse is what they call hotspots. So when, as Katie mentioned, some of those drivers that have gone out, and I talk with my hands, so I'm going to plug this in so I can, that as these drivers go out and they see areas of need where somebody says, we haven't had a meal here yet, or we don't have water here yet, they can tell where those neighborhoods are. They can come back and tell. So later today, I can't tell you where the neighborhoods themselves are because I didn't see that, but later on tonight, as they load up a couple more of these trucks with the full for those 50 missions a day, they're also talking about doing a couple of those hotspots. So they're going to load up a couple of emergency response vehicles full of water and ready-to-eat meals. They don't have the hot meals here. We have those at our kitchens. Katie and I were live at a kitchen yesterday. So you saw that part of our operation yesterday. Today we're at this, what we call a bulk distribution site, which is really these relief supplies. So we're not here for food, but we do have these ready-to-eat meals, which will, while they are certainly not a home-cooked meal, they will serve as a very nutritious meal. And Katie and I actually were out with some volunteers that delivered them in a community down in the Beaumont area, Nederland, Texas, I believe. Or no, we were in Beaumont that day when we went and we met a couple who could not have been more excited and actually called the ready-to-eat meals delicious. So that's a pretty good sign that somebody was appreciating the work that we're able to do because of your guys' support. So I don't know, Katie, if you have anything else to add. I think we've kind of shown this operation today. This is, again, one of several here in Houston, Texas, is one of several of these warehouses that we have all across Texas to provide these relief supplies to folks here in Texas who have been just devastated by Harvey. We want to thank all the partners who make it possible. One, actually, before I do wrap up, that they talked about here today is actually Walmart, who is using large tractor trailers. We won't go walk all the way back to the other side to show you that, but they have huge tractor trailers they're using to help get the materials here to our warehouse to go out. And I think they've donated some of the materials too, although I'm not sure. And the volunteers here are unbelievable. So if you want to volunteer and help out like you're here, like you see here, we have so many other opportunities. You can go to redcross.org. We'd love to have you. Go to redcross.org and you can fill out an online application. All of these people have some kind of Red Cross background check and training before we send you out. But as Katie mentioned, 64,000 disasters a year, and that's only one part of the work that the Red Cross does. So we'd love to have you, redcross.org, to do that. And again, One more time, all of this work that you see, all of these relief supplies that are going out, this is where your donations are going, along with the cots, blankets. We still had 16,000 people in Red Cross shelters last night. All the people you see behind you, all the logistics that go into putting this. This is where your donations go. We can't do it without your support. 1-800-RED-CROSS, redcross.org, or text the word Harvey to 90999 and you can support this work. So I'm going to come around so you can see us both as we tag out. Oop.
Oh,
There we go. See, that's why we're learning. But thank you so much for watching, everybody, and thank you for helping out and supporting the American Red Cross.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.